Hello everyone. So in the last video we talked about arrays, how we can use them, and also we saw the problems that they pose and how rigid they are. So in this video we'll talk about slices. We'll see how it is different from array and how it solves the problem. So we'll talk more about slice declaration, the nil type, what is the nil type and why do we use that in slice, and how do we compare slice and how is that different from comparing arrays. So first of all, slice declaration is not very different from array declaration. There's only one subtle change, and that subtle change is, I'll just show, var array 3 int, right, var slice int. Right, now let's say if I do empty.print, I'll just print first of all array, slice. Yeah, now let's just run it. Great, so as you can see we have array and slice. This is the zero value of int array of size 3. This is the zero value of slice. So as you can see, the zero value of int array is obviously the zero values of int into 3 times, that is 0 0 0. And what is the zero value of slice? It's just nothing. So this is what nil is. Nil is basically the lack of a value. So an empty slice or a slice, the zero value of a slice is nil, and this is where we get nil. Now talking about comparison, slice comparison, it's very different from array comparison. In array we can use the equal to or sign, but in this we can't use that, and slices are non-comparable. Like you can't compare slices like a one slice to another slice. I'll just show you this. Wait, var x var x yeah, as you can see both of these are same array, same slices, sorry. But now if I try to print it, this will give me an error. Just try to run. Slice can only be compared to nil, so you can't use this functionality to compare. There are other methods you can compare the slices, like reflect, using the reflect package, but we'll be talking more about that in later sections. Right, so now we'll see how we can compare slices to nil and what does it return. So similarly, let's say if I have a var z, just make the nil value of it. Right, I'll just do wait, x equal nil. Similarly, I'll just do right, so I'll just do this. Ideally it should give false, false and true. Correct. So these are the three things that I had to talk about in this segment. So yeah, now let's move on to len. Len is basically what it does is it returns the length of the slice or an array. So you just input the len keyword, and in the bracket you just put the array of the slice. It returns the length of the array. Append and capacity, we'll talk more about it. Great, so we'll now talk more about append. Append is basically used to grow slices. So I'll just give you an example. So suppose var x is int. Let's say I've initialized the slice, and let's say if I want to append values to it, I'll just do 1. Right. So as you can see in the syntax, it takes in a slice and adds a value to it, and then returns another slice. So in this, so you want to make sure that the slice that you are passing is of the same type as the value that you have passed here. Suppose let's say if I pass it a b c and then I try to run it, it'll just give me an error. Yeah, untyped string constant as int value. As you can see, it should give me an error. So yeah, this is what append does. Yeah, so we'll just try to play around with this. X is equal to append x. Yeah, just then try to do x. Yeah, so as you can see, we have printed 1, 2. And now let's say we want to add multiple values, we can do that in one go. Now suppose let's say we have another slice. For 3, 4, 5, and suppose I want to append these the value of this in this. So let's just suppose we want to add the value of x slice into y. Rather than traversing through the values and appending it, we can do yeah. So we'll talk more about what these are, the 3 dots, but I think we should get 3, 4, 5 and 1, 2. Correct, cool. So notice here, whenever we use the append function, what it does is it usually takes in a slice and then it copies the value of it and adds the remaining 2 or the whatever values we have specified at the end, and then it generates a new slice. So this is how it works. It is a pass by value. So it is not changing the initial slice. It's just making a change to the copied slice. So I'll just show you this by an example. Okay, we have this is equal to 1, 2, 3, and suppose I do original right. So the according to the logic that we're talking about, original slice will have 1, 2 and 3, and the appended slice will have 1, 2, 3 and 4. Let's just see how it goes. Yeah, original slice 1, 2, 3, new slice 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a classic example of pass by value. We'll talk more about it in later videos. Right, so now we'll talk more about capacity. So the capacity is nothing but the number of consecutive memory locations reserved. So, and this can be also larger than the length. So since slices grow in a dynamic manner, so whenever let's say we have the size equal to the capacity, and let's say I append a new character or an integer to the slice, so it doubles itself, the capacity doubles itself, and then it keeps doubling itself till the size is I think around 1024, and then it starts increasing by 25%. An example how capacity and len works in this and how you can see in action. Yeah, and then I'll just add 1 to it, then same, then I'll add 2, same, add 3, same, 4. By the way, this compiler what I'm using is Golang, for those of you who don't know. 5, same. Let's just do it till 8. Sorry. Right, so let's just run this and see what the output is. Right, so initially as you can see the slice is null, the length is 0, the capacity is 0. After adding 1, the length and capacity are 1. Similarly, post that the length is as you can see it's increasing and capacity is also increasing, and capacity is increasing in the power of 2 because it doubles itself until it reaches 1024. So if I add another value to it, the length should be 9 and the capacity should be 16. Let's just see. Yeah, great. So what it does here is whenever let's say it has reached the capacity, it takes in the array, makes a new slice and allots the capacity of it or to 16 or double the size of whatever the length was or the capacity was, adds the new element to it. So we'll talk more about this table, arrays versus slices, and I'll just try to figure out some points that are there. So size arrays are fixed at compile time, and slices are dynamic, can grow or shrink, that we've talked about. Type, fixed size data structure, also has size and its type. Variable size data structure, length, fixed and variable, capacity, fixed same as length, variable, but it shouldn't be less than the length. Declaration, as I have shown you, it's very similar. efficiency, since we know that it's only going to take 5 elements of int type, so it's very efficient. But with slices it can grow or shrink, so it's less efficient. So what is a perfect slice? While we know it's nice that slice can grow automatically, it's far more efficient to size them once, and size them right. So we can foresee things and just plan it ahead, and we can put a size, or we can put the capacity, initialize it using the capacity itself. So we'll see how we can do that. So we can do this using the make function. Suppose I have to initialize an array of size of length 5, right? So if I or slice of length 5, sorry. So suppose now if I run this, yeah, it is a slice of length 5, and yeah, so it is a slice of length 5 and all initialized to 0. So now let's say if I also have to make sure that I can pass on the capacity. So make also takes in wait, let's make it y. So make also takes in the capacity. So since we have initialized the capacity as 10, it can still grow automatically, but we are letting the compiler know, okay, so this can be the length. This is the length we are expecting. So it doesn't have to start from 0. And let's just bring this len y cap y. Sorry. So the answer for this should be, first of all, the x. I'll just split it out. It should be 0 0 0 0 and 5 and great. So this is a good way to start with slices if we know for a fact that what the capacity of the slice can go up to. So yeah, so this will make the code far more efficient. Great. So now I'm done with this. Great. So now we are now great. So now we have covered slices. In the next video, we'll try to see how we can slice slices, because that is a completely different topic from arrays versus slice. So in the next video, we'll see how we can slice slices and how we can take a range out of a slice and see what all we can do with that. I hope this video was informative, and yeah, bye.